What if you didn't just read about history, but lived it? What if one jump could send you flying into the age of dinosaurs, clashing swords with enchanted knights, racing through neon skis of the future, or casting spells inside magical Roman arenas? This isn't fiction. This is Disney time travel, and it's the greatest adventure time has ever known. It started not with an explosion, but a hum. A low, electric whisper that pulsed from the floor of a long-forgotten lab hidden deep beneath the city. Not on maps, not in history books. A secret locked behind walls that shimmered like water when no one was watching. Inside, dust wires gears. Silence until two kids found it. Curious, clever, brave, always chasing mysteries like they were treasure. They opened the rusted hatch and stepped into the dark. And that's when they saw it. A spiral, spinning midair, made of glowing rings, floating numbers, flickering blueprints, soft wind, and something else, magic. It wasn't just a machine, it was alive. Suddenly, the lab lit up. Papers flew, lights flickered, tools rose off the floor like they were weightless. The hum grew louder, calling to them. With one final glance at each other, hearts racing, eyes wide, they jumped. And the portals swallowed them whole. They landed with a thud, but not on dirt. On soft green moss, bouncy and warm, like nature's trampoline. The air smelled like rain and flowers no one had ever named. Sky streaked with pink and orange, volcanoes bubbling in the distance. A growl echoed through the trees, but not a scary one. A goofy, giggling roar, like a giant puppy trying to sound fierce. From behind a palm leaf the size of a house, a Pixar-style dinosaur poked out its head. Big eyes, wobbly feet, tail swinging like it didn't know where to go, and then it squeaked and ran toward them. Within seconds, the kids were riding it, arms up like they were on a roller coaster. Through fields of glowing mushrooms, under waterfalls that shimmered like liquid gold, past butterflies the size of dinner plates. A giant snail waved at them with glittery antennae. The world was loud, alive, bursting with color. In the distance, a volcano erupted, not in fire but fireworks. Purple sparks, orange clouds, music in the sky made by flocks of rainbow birds. A baby triceratops danced in circles chasing shadows. They weren't just visitors, they belonged. They played hide and seek with a family of giggling stegosaurs, slid down vines like zip lines, and watched the stars blink in bright constellations that no longer exist. And just as they leaned over a clear blue lake and saw their reflections, older, bolder, grinning wide, the air cracked open again. Swoosh! They dropped into golden fields under the shadow of a massive castle, where the walls shimmered like pearl, and the banners floated without wind. A knight on horseback rode past, his armor glowing with ancient runes. His sword, enchanted, it left trails of silver fire with every swing. Kids wearing capes soared above the fields, floating slightly off the ground, their hands glowing with beginner magic. A small dragon fluttered by, scales like emeralds, eyes like stained glass. It landed beside them, purred, and rolled over for belly scratches. The kids were handed scrolls and magic rings. Trial day, a cheerful wizard told them. Today, all new travelers must prove their light. They trained with talking swords, learned to tame wind with a whisper, mixed potions that fizzed into clouds shaped like animals. One child accidentally made a broom fall in love with her. It followed her everywhere, even into the royal dining hall. They danced in the moonlight with noble elves, sipped glowing cider beside bonfires that told stories, and helped a princess negotiate peace with a grumpy troll kingdom by teaching them how to laugh. At sunrise, the kingdom crowned them keepers of wonder. But as the parade drums thundered, the sky split open again. The spiral returned, brighter, faster, calling. Suddenly, they were on a floating platform high above a neon city that never slept. Below, sky trains zipped past holographic trees, and robots served glowing smoothies to hover-skating teens. Above, glowing signs danced across the sky spelling out, "Welcome time TRAVLRS." They wore suits now, sleek, silver, with shoulder pads that reacted to their emotions. The suits translated languages, stored memories, and even played music when they ran fast enough. They jumped into a hover race, surfing air currents between buildings shaped like crystals. Every window was a screen, every park a floating island. Drones offered ice cream flavors like plasma peach and dark matter mint. A mechanical dog barked in binary. They played chess with an AI named Zarn who kept cheating, but apologized in rap. They visited the Memory Museum, where you could walk through someone's past like a movie. They rode elevators that sang, discovered a garden on the top of a floating tower where each flower bloomed to their heartbeat. They weren't just visitors, they were stars. The city projected their story into the clouds, giant animations of everything they'd done so far. And as they high-fived a timekeeper android with rainbow circuits, the spiral opened once again. Boom! They landed in sandals on marble tiles. The sun above them burned hot and golden. The Colosseum towered in front of them, but not ruined, glorious, alive. Inside, no blood, no battles, magic. A crowd roared not for violence, but beauty. Warriors glided like dancers, their shields glowing with electric patterns. One cast fire that twirled like a ribbon. Another split the sky with a lightning-infused spear. And in the center, a lion made of light. It roared, soft but powerful, and leapt across the arena, leaving stars in its path. The kids were chosen. They were given enchanted tokens. "Create your own magic," said the arena master. "Show us your truth." One kid summoned a shield of glass that deflected lies. The other grew trees from the sand, trees that whispered ancient secrets. Together, they faced a final challenge, a magical puzzle that only friendship could solve. And when they did, the entire Colosseum erupted in light. Fireworks bloomed, people cheered, and the lion purred. As they bowed to thousands of smiling faces, the time spiral opened again. The lab welcomed them like an old friend. The hum quieted, the spiral slowed, the air settled. But the world was different now. Their pockets held treasures: a fossil feather, a dragon's scale, a neon coin, a spark from a Roman storm. Their clothes were patched with time. Their eyes saw more than before. They were no longer just kids. They were explorers. Time wasn't just something to study. It was a living, breathing, magical world filled with stories no book could capture. And maybe, just maybe, they weren't done yet. The spiral shimmered softly, waiting. One kid smiled, the other nodded. And without a word, they jumped again. If you could travel to any time period, with a Disney twist, where would you go? Tell us in the comments. Because your time adventure might begin sooner than you think.